Okay, we're back on the Marshall table here, as I like to call this. Okay, we're outside in nature. This is basically on a college campus, as I say, where I've been teaching for a while now. But anyway, as I say, we're outside. It's a sunny day. I'm under the shade and just got my phone camera with me, and I thought I'd make a few videos for you guys. Okay, in this video I'm just going to talk briefly again about the way of the ninja, or the ninjas. Okay, to me, I know it's a topic that a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people might find themselves caught up in their words a lot of the time, and little may they know it or not. But it's like, because the true thing is, right, when it comes to the ninja or the ninjas, what do we know about them really? All we know is what's been passed down through years, and we're talking way back in history of Japan. This, and me being a Westerner, I mean, how close am I going to be to knowing exactly? Most of the stuff we know about ninjas is what we've seen in, written in supposedly, true books, and writings, and then movies and TV and stuff like that, where they're talking about ninjas and people in black outfits and ninja masks, ninja gear. And we know a little bit about some of the kind of training they do. But regardless of what we do know, what we don't know, I do feel, as I've said before, that the ninja had the best way of combat. I really feel that. Not in terms of the actual technique of how they would fight, because I mean that we don't know enough about that truly. But I mean, yeah, it was good and everything. Definitely, it was probably probably really good compared to some of the stuff nowadays, because it's more traditional. But what I'm saying, when you're talking about the ninja way, for me, I'm feeling like that's probably the best way in terms of combat, in terms of real fighting. I think that's probably the best way, because you might say it's cowardly. You may say like people are going unseen. They're going unseen. They're trying to do cheap shots basically on their opponents, like as in trying to catch their opponent out and stuff like that, rather than going to face their opponent straight on. They would hide in the night. They would use camouflage. They would use all kinds of tricks and stuff so that you wouldn't see them, and they'd find their way around the back gate kind of thing, and they would get their job done, and they'd pick their enemies off, easily. They're taking the easy route kind of thing. It's like cheating in a game of chess, if that's possible. What I'm trying to say. But it's like, when the winning and losing's at stake, and there's no game involved, there's no playing around, there's no test for honour, it's like other points to it. When it's just totally about the win or lose, or when you want to get the job done, or when you want to fight for your life, then you want to win. You don't want to take any risks, right? You don't have to prove to be the hero. Who are you trying to prove to anyway? There's nobody else to prove to, because at the end of the day, you're the warriors, right? In your cell. But forget about that. We're not talking about any martial, even moral code or anything about a person. We're talking about the art of winning. So I think, to me, that's the best way to go. When you're invisible, you're more close to invincible, right? Even though you're not going to be invincible ever. But that's how I feel about it. So for ninja, when it comes to the ninjas or the ninja way, I feel it's like they were the smartest. I mean, whatever truth there is in that, of what we think we know about them, or what is, I really feel that they were the smartest, because they were trying to avoid they were trying to make it so that the enemy didn't know they were there. They were not putting themselves in risk of maybe getting attacked, or maybe letting their plots be foiled, No, they made it so that they were going in to win, and that's what it was. They were going in to win. Nothing was going to take them out. They made sure that they covered their backs. They didn't need to carry loads of armor or plan B, plan A as such, even though they probably did have other tricks up their sleeve. But it was like they were going straight for the kill. It's like to challenge yourself in training. Like, let's say you're an archer when you're doing archery, like bow and arrow. You might say to yourself, okay, you know what, I'm going to stand on one leg, or I'm going to close my eyes, or I'm going to stand on one leg on a boat. You can do all these crazy things to challenge yourself, like in the martial arts, as we do. Beat someone up with my hands tied behind my back. But it's like, in a fight. But it's like, at the end of the day, that's not what they were doing. They were trying. They done all the hard training, but when it was time to do the winning, they didn't need to show off all their abilities. The abilities are there. You've got to think about it in life in general. When you train any hard to give yourself abilities, when you're challenging and training yourself, it's the same as the martial arts in general. We train so that if we do need these abilities for certain situations, then they will be ready. It's like you cut a key, or you make a key, or you make some kind of tool, right? You're not maybe a hammer, maybe a saw, a pair of scissors, anything you carry with you. You're not going to carry that with you all the time. You may have a spoon in your backpack, but it might not always be of use if you're at a train station or whatever, right? It's like those things are necessary to have. You see what I'm saying? So you carry it wherever you go. A language, you might be able to speak 5 languages, but you're not going to speak it everywhere in the world you go, are you? So everything you have, knowledge, abilities, tools, things you've created, things you've given yourself, money in another currency, whatever it might be, abilities. So those things are there, but you're not going to be using it in all situations. So they brought them just in case you need them. It's basically like a first aid kit. You've got a first aid kit, but then you've got prevention's better than cure. So martial arts is the prevention. So the knowledge that they carried with them was unbelievable. They carried so much with them, probably even when they carried so less, that the more you carry, the less you can. You know what I'm saying? It holds you down. But it was like they had so much with them at all times in knowledge and ability, just in their mind and body health, and then the other things like their knowledge of the surroundings, how to use it. You know what I mean? And then the weapons or whatever they carry with them. So basically, though, they were smart. And they were going in just like an arrow, an archery, without any other obstacles in the way. They were just basically going straight to the point, just shoot straight for the goal. So to me, I always see them as the wisest fighters, or the wisest. That's a very good philosophy in life we can take in our life in general, and the wisest way to be direct when you go for your goals. So when you talk about that, just bring that back up 1 second again. When you talk about real fights, like let's say in a ring, like a boxing fight, anything, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, whatever, a fight right in the ring or on the street in a fight confrontation, whatever it is, you've got to remember, every time you hit the opponent, you're trying to hit them when they're off guard, right? Or you're trying to set them up, do a fake attack so that they leave themselves open to your attack. You're not always telling your opponent, you're not trying to tell your opponent, look, I'm going to hit you here now, put your guard up and I'm going to hit. No, because you want to try and get them off guard, right? So you're always doing cheap shots the whole damn time. Even if it's like reaction stuff and you're fighting each other in the ring and it's like face to face, even if they know they're going to fight, you see, they know they're going to both put each other at risk, which is not what the ninjas were doing. But I say, let's say modern day fighting, in the ring, 2 guys go in the ring, they know that they're there for, it's a competition thing, but they tell each other, they're not going to tell each other, are they, every time, I'm going to punch you in the face, put your guard up, I'm going to hit you in the gut, put your guard down. They're not going to tell you that, are they? No. They're going to try and set them up because they want to try and score the points. They don't want to make it hard for themselves. They want to make it easy for themselves to score points. Even if it's not for a deadly knockout straight away, immediately. They're trying to do it so they can get points and get the money for their ring, for their fight. Win in whatever way it is, whatever terms of winning is, it's that. So what I'm trying to say is, even if you hit someone and their guard is up, you want to try and break through their guard. You want to try and hurt them. So every time, there's no way you can, hit somebody, even if you punch through their guard or you punch their body. When you strike, punch or kick, you're still doing cheap shots. You're a cheap ass trying to hurt another human being in the fucking first place. But in terms of getting what you want in a goal, for whatever goal you want in life, or whatever you want to get, you've got to go straight forward. You can't be 50-50, but you've got to be 100%. Why would you be 80-90% if you can't be 100%? You know what I'm trying to say? It's ridiculous, right? And why would you, if you had to travel a long journey somewhere, why would you carry loads of heavy stuff if this stuff was not needed? You know what I'm trying to say? You carry what's needed. But then the ninja and stuff and wise human beings would carry knowledge with them and abilities and themselves so that they can basically make anything wherever they are. It's like they could do magic almost. Why not be able to disappear if you could, like a magician? Why not be able to, like a real, magic man? Why not be able to like make do thing like like survival shelters and survival gear and stuff, hunt, why not be able to make a weapon out of anything? Why not be able to make a tool out of anything, make a bridge out of some old tree branches, make a raft? Why not be able to do that? Why would you have to carry all that stuff with you if you can just make it up anywhere? So you can pull a rabbit out of a hat, you can pull money out of a tree branch or something, you know what I mean? It's like, that's the way they were like. They made their mark, they made their markings around the forests most likely, around the towns, using anything to like write or to give themselves messages. They made their own codes and stuff. This stuff is found in today's army and and navy and all that stuff. There's like different kind of training that they do and tactics, I'm saying it's been passed down, but it's different. But I really believe that they were really wise. The ninja or the ninjas, the ninja, they were so wise. They really were. Now, I don't know the truth about them. Who are we talking about? All of them or what? Or some of them? We don't know. I mean, I don't know the truth about exactly how they'd fight or what they'd look like and what some of their custom traditions would be. I don't know exactly, because most people say that they were just killers, and then they'd be paid for hire and stuff, like the samurai that were paid for hire and things like that, paid to killed, you know, paid to kill and do certain things for them, you know. But there's different stuff, you know. I'm more into the martial way, the Zen, the Buddha, fair enough, but like for the peace and the good of life, fighting for self-defense if we need to, but being peaceful in yourself and positive, you know. When it comes to the samurai, and it's the same with the ninja arts or any martial art, you know, I feel it should be like Zen, you know, and then and the Kung Fu and all that, you know. I feel it should be like positive. When you see, like, when I think of a samurai in my mind, like I think of someone with a sword, just someone training with a sword, in you know, modest, what you call, like clothes, like you know, cloth, like a gi or a martial arts kind of outfit, you know, or just like training traditionally with the arts, maybe training by a lake or in the forest, you know, nice peaceful setting, training by a temple or wherever he may be, practicing his martial arts, his health and his fitness, and the art into the sword, trying to feel where his heart is and feel about how to defend. I'm into all of that, you know, that kind of, you might say it's dreamy, but that kind of Zen kind of training. I'm not into someone really, let's say somebody in big metal armour, samurai metal armoured suits, armoured up, shield, sword, whatever it might be, and going into battle to slay and kill in the war times, and massive armour on, you know, and fighting like that, and then being paid so they go to kill for money. That kind of stuff, to me, there's not much honour in that. When you honour, true honour is like in the path of the flow of nature, I feel. Nature. Humble and being righteous, being clean, pure, clear, and in the path of nature and becoming part of nature, and yin and yang, yin yang. I don't believe you just make it up and be fake. I'm not been putting them all down. Nobody's perfect anyway in general in life, let alone back then. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if you talk about any kind of soldier or any kind of samurai back in the day, if you just talk about honour and morality, if you just talk about it, like anyone in life in general, whoever you may be, if you just talk about righteousness, or you just talk about elements of goodness, having honour and communication between people, but you don't actually carry it, you still live a life where you're doing something negative, where you're trying to, you know, you're still like a warmonger in some way, you know, that's not good at all, you know. I don't care if you're a religious person, just spewing it out all the time as though you're a good person, but you don't really do good for yourself, honestly. Or if you're a police officer and you act like that, you're just in a uniform, but you don't really care about honour and stuff. That morality, I'm saying, pure morality. But that can be questioned, as in what's moral and what really is right. You know, different people have different opinions, but it's interesting, you know what I mean. But I think the ninjas were very, very smart, very wise, because they would avoid getting hit the best they could. The best block is don't be there, right? As one of my Kung Fu teachers used to say in the past, you know. And then you learn how to block when you need to have your guard up when you're in range and the attacker's coming. But you don't tell your opponent, here I am, strike me, or here I am, you don't put a show on or put some martial art pose on and say, you don't do that. It's just ridiculous foolishness. In self-defense, damn, you want to avoid danger. You don't stand in the middle of the road and try to move around and avoid the cars, do you? And the faster you can move and flip around, you say, wow, I'm really good now, I'm standing up against all odds. No, you actually don't, you avoid that in the first place. But if you are in a situation, a dangerous situation, it's like swimming or anything, you know what I mean? You don't want to jump into deep water, you know, it's like, you know what I'm saying, like your abilities work when they need it. You've got to have abilities when you need them, you know what I mean? Yeah? It's like if you were sitting at this table with someone now and someone said to you, I can read Chinese characters. And someone said, okay, read it now then. Why don't you read some now? What they've said is like so pathetic, right? There's a time and a place for things. Well, I like to eat pizzas. Oh, why don't you eat one now? Isn't the fucking people talk so much crap? They don't think. They're living in the moment in some crap in their mind. The real moment is the moment you're living in. So I think the ninjas were really smart. And but how you really fight and how you work to get jobs done, it matters. And there's always a way of getting things done. There's always multiple ways of getting things done. There's always more effective ways of getting things done, and that's what there is to it, really, the bottom line. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys. See you again soon.